All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is John Hernandez. I am a consultant here at CashWipe. I've been a part of Paul's team for nearly 5 years, helping people learn how to create additional stream of income. You're watching Residual Income for Beginners, where we share stories, experiences, and strategies for building residual income. So today, I'm excited to interview Jonathan, and he's going to share his journey and his experience and share some valuable insights and that can help anyone get started. So let's jump right into it.
Yeah,
Jonathan, how are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm great. Happy to be here.
All right,
Finally
man.
made it on here.
Zach. So let's get to it. So as far as tell the audience a little bit about yourself, like a little bit of your background, where you're from.
Yeah. So my background is a business. I'm an entrepreneur. Got my business outside of this. That's a little small trucking company that I do here in Southern California. Um, we do same day pickup and delivery type stuff. I don't go out of the state or even up north or anything like that, but I stay local.
Hmm.
Running a business. I got a small crew, me and a partner, and we got four guys with us. We got running pretty good. Been doing it full time for about 8 years, but been in business since 2014. So messing around with it like that, getting it grow and everything. So it's been going good, but it's California and these laws for trucking and stuff like that make things hard. So that's what kind of got me into venturing to not different opportunities, but other ways to find ways to grow money and be successful in other ways. So that's kind of my background with business, and I've tried working jobs and stuff like that. It's just not for me. I'm just not a 9 to 5 kind of guy. So I like to do my own thing and try to grow and be successful whatever I do. So
Yeah, there's a saying where once you become an entrepreneur, you can never go back.
I can't. Like, I can't stand it if somebody tells me what to do in a way like a boss type thing, and it would just drive me crazy. No offense to anybody that likes that, but it's not for me.
So you've been in business since 2004, 14, and you went through we went through COVID. Did that affect you in any way?
You know what? To be honest with you, it didn't affect me too bad, and that's the one time that anybody that's from Southern California knows the freeways here suck. And COVID was beautiful. I mean, I was just flying through the freeways wide open. But thankfully, yeah, I mean, nobody got hurt. We didn't have any problems with that. And but for us, business wise, everything ran just as fine, just as normal to a certain extent. But again, the freeways were the best during that time. But it was good.
It's
Yeah.
funny you say that because you're right. I was working at T-Mobile at the time, and
Mm,
there was no traffic. I used to work in Murrieta, so I used to just go down. Took me about 20 to 30 minutes to get down there, and then
yeah.
same thing coming back. But then when things started to pick up again, traffic is not the best. I hate traffic.
No. You can't get around it here, unfortunately.
So so how did you come across Paul Alex?
Paul, I mean, like a lot of people's stories, I mean, he was on Facebook back in the day, and it was the ATM times back in the day. And I've always kind of looked towards different different types of businesses that you can make money on the side, kind of not have to worry about full time, different types. And somehow he popped up in my feed, and maybe that's, how they're always listening as far as the internet goes. But he popped up on my feed, and I started following him, and thought about it and everything like that. Never really approached it too much. Never went anywhere with it,
Mhm.
regretfully. And I want to say it just kind of fell off until like 2 years later, and then he came back, and that's when he started doing the merchant services. And I was like, oh man, like this is a whole different world right here, because I was all for ATMs, and
Yeah.
I still love that idea, but running a business while trying to run that, it's doable, but at the same time, it's like I got to be able to fill the machines, I got to be able to place the machines and do all that. And then when he came out with this new service, which is merchant services, and explained it, in dummy terms to how easy it can be, I was like, man, this is the way to go right here. This is what I need to look more into. So I started digging a little deeper, hit the follow button again, and started watching his lives, back in the day. And it took me a while to finally make that jump, but I'm 100% happy I did. I'm grateful to be here. So yeah.
Back in the Facebook days when we had our lives on Facebook. So you
Yep.
so you mentioned you were following him for a little while. I guess what made you just, click that button? It's like, you know what? Let me reach out. Let me get in contact with him.
Yeah, yeah, it was, I don't remember exactly what it was. One of those things like make a comment, whatever, and then we'll reach out to you. And I was like, you know what, F it, I'm gonna do it, and I did it. They reached out. I think I ignored the first one, to be honest with you. I was like, all right, this is for real. Like they're actually gonna reach out to you, and I was like, oh crap. So I think I ignored the first one or two times, and then finally I was like, you know what, I'm gonna see what this is all about because I kept feeding into my feed and I kept
Mhm.
going into it. And you see success stories, so I started looking into the success stories on the old Facebook page and stuff like that. I'm looking at this and I see people that are like me. I see people that are business owners. I see full time employees that are just like, it's not that it's easy, but it's definitely doable. And I'm like, okay, so I can see myself running this business I have here, which is my priority at the moment, while trying to grow something else. So I finally took that leap and yeah, got on the call, went through that, and it was a whole roller coaster of emotions. It's a big thing to think about,
Mhm.
but I can honestly say it's 100% worth it. So yeah, so I finally made that leap and came on board.
And when you say like roller coaster emotions, I know I want to take it back to that time because, talking to individuals, people, entrepreneurs or early entrepreneurs that are looking to do something, I guess what were you I don't know if you could go back to that time, but what were you feeling like? Because you're already entrepreneur, you already have your own
Yeah,
business.
yeah.
I guess starting something new, it was still an uphill battle or a challenge of emotions. But what was going across your mind at that time?
Well, I would say, yeah. I mean, I can remember it because it was one of those things. It was as a business owner, you got to think about what's all involved. You got to think about families. You got to think about employees. You got to think about your household, everything that's involved in taking a leap of faith in a way. And so I don't look at it as like, oh, I got the security of a paycheck coming in. It's like, no,
Mhm,
I have to work to get my paycheck. I have to earn that paycheck. And I look at this the same way to a certain extent. I mean, luckily I have the background of that business flowing and running good, but I think about the investment of it. I'm like, wait, if I do this investment into here and I don't put it towards my other business, am I going to be okay? Or do I have money to where I can invest this without it affecting my other business,
mhm,
and to where it doesn't get involved or hurt that business in any way? And that's the roller coaster I was going through that. It didn't, I found my ways and it was a lot of stuff that Cashflight provided as far as solutions as well. So stuff I didn't really see as far as getting the investment funded and everything like that. And it was one of the great things with Cashflight that helped me get to that level to where I'm like, okay, I feel good. I feel good about this.
okay.
So yeah.
And then since you having your own business, like what made you want to start looking for another business besides, I get we're all looking for, financial freedom, but passive income, but what was the main focus for starting something new and something like this?
Um, I mean, it's definitely security is one of them. I mean, obviously we're fine, me and my wife here, but to be honest with you, a lot of it was just, man, we love to travel, we love to have a good time, and with my business I have right now, it's literally around the year. It's Monday to Friday, thank goodness, but it's like up until recently, I
Mhm,
couldn't just be like, "Hey, I'm not here, I'm out," kind of thing, and not show up because I have customers and I have people that rely on me. I have drivers that rely on me. I have a partner as well, so that's kind of how it works together to where now we're able to make it work, where we get breaks, we get vacations, and it sounds crazy, but yeah, my wife and I, we love to travel, and she's a professor at a school, so she gets summers off, she gets vacation, she gets all the holidays, and it's always like, "Where are we going this year?" And I'm like, "I don't know, because I can't really plan for anything. And I guess it's not as the same why as most people. It's a good why, but at the same
mhm,
time, I'm looking at this as the possibilities to where maybe one day I could park the truck and not worry about that, or not go that route, and have this to where it's just constantly flowing in the money that I need to survive, and also just grow this business past my current income that I'm making now. So that's more my goal is. And again, like I mentioned earlier, with California, it's just law after law after law after law,
mhm.
especially with truck driving. And it's just like, as soon as you get to one thing, they go, okay, smack you with this one. And then you get to that one, they smack you with another one. And anybody in California can attest to that with anything you try to do business wise here, unfortunately. beautiful state, but they're not really business friendly. So I have a lot of stuff weighs on my shoulders, as far as that goes. And I try to question myself, like, is this something I want to do for the rest of my life? I
Mhm.
love it. I love being on the road, but can I do this rest of my life? Is this something that I want to focus on and or not? And then I see something like this, which it gives me the same mentality as a business owner. It gives me the same drive, and obviously it's a lot easier to do that, and you're helping people out at the same time,
Mhm.
and saving people so much money that it brings true joy to my heart. Like, I love it. I love what I've discovered in the time I've been here. So yeah,
No,
that's
I
why I
love it.
love
So,
it.
the drive was is to, travel a little bit more and not having restrictions because as you know, when you're an entrepreneur, you don't work, you don't make money, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it was like I want to travel, but at the same time, if I'm not working, I'm not making money. So you found something else, which
Yeah,
with Catwipe, where you sign up a business, you help them save money, and now you reap the benefits of getting residual income every single month. So now it gives
right.
you a more flexibility of not second
Yeah,
guessing. Oh, can I do it? Oh yeah, I can do it. Like yeah, let's just sign up
yeah,
another account, right?
yeah. Yeah, you start challenging yourself, like, hey, it's
Mhm.
quiet over here, like I need to go. That's the good thing about this too. Is there's no cap on this. There's no way to stop. You can just go to the top and keep growing and growing and growing. And now I'm seeing that more and more with the success I've been having lately, and that's what I see. And it pumps that, it's like that fire in your butt, and it makes you want to do more, and you get excited, and you're like, I'm going to take on the whole town, kind of thing. And that's the plan, so yeah, yeah, it's great. I love every moment of this. It's been so fun and so learning. It's such a learning experience, and I know it's something that I'm going to continue to learn. You're always going to learn something with this and grow, and I couldn't ask to do it with a better group. So
I love that.
yeah,
Success loves speed, and once you start building that momentum, like you said, you're just like you're hyped. You're just like, let me get another account. Let me get another
yeah.
one. It's just a snowball effect. Everything
Oh
just
yeah,
place.
yeah, definitely, definitely.
So how long have you been with the Cash Swipe right now?
I've been since January of 2025,
Okay, it's January 2025.
like the
How's
beginning of 2025. Yeah.
how's your experience been so far?
It's been great. It's been great. I mean, I've been kind of sitting on the sidelines for a little bit in the beginning, which I regret, and trying to do my thing, trying to take, I guess, the business aspect of it while trying to figure it out on my own to a certain extent. I mean, I always
Mhm.
have asked questions and everything like that. But it's been great. It's been one of those things that I'm constantly, like I said, you're just learning so much as it goes, and it's exciting to learn. Like, you get a, like, say, a Clover system, and I'm like, I
Mhm.
don't know what the heck I'm staring at right now. And you just start researching things and doing stuff, or asking questions to Paybotics, which I'm sure they love me chiming in every 5 minutes. but but no, it's with such a backup support with Paybotics and Cashflight that it's something that I've never felt alone with. I've never been like, how do I figure this out? It's like, no, this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna ask, and that's what I do. I reach out to whoever I can, whoever I know would know the answer to it. So yeah, so it's been a great experience. Again, I kind of lagged a lot in the beginning. It's my own fault, unfortunately, and I was focused on other things, as far as the brand, as far as the Instagram and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and I focused on the wrong things, and that's my only regret to where I'm at now. 'Cause now I'm just like, okay, I'm here. I got my flyers. I got everything. Now I'm going out and I'm doing this. I'm doing that, and I wish I would have done that from the beginning. So that's the only regret I have from the time I've been here. But it's a learning experience that I know it's just a minor setback that's just going to shoot me up a lot higher in the long run. So yeah,
No,
it's been
and
great.
that's good. At the end of the day, you learn as you go, but you also have, like you mentioned, you have the team that support to get you
Oh
where you
yeah,
want to be at, and you're
yeah,
not alone. And you
right.
mentioned quite a few things, Paybotics, the community, reaching out to other cash swipe clients. Like, have you met like some of the cash swipe clients that's in their group, like in person?
In person, just at certain events
Hmm.
and stuff like that. Little get-togethers and everything. Other than that, it's been messages. I met you at the Christmas event. I
Yeah.
met a lot of people at that Christmas event. It was great times. And Nadia is another one that's close to us down here in SoCal. So I haven't met her. I mean, I've met her at the events, but we haven't hung out or anything like that. But she's always been on the message board, or answering or sending me information when I hit her up randomly about certain questions. So she's a homie for sure. Yeah,
Yeah, 100%. I always talk about
yeah,
Nadia. She's
Yeah.
yeah, she'll hold you accountable,
Yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I always
Yeah.
say this.
100%.
Shout out to Nadia. She's always holding. She will call you out, and
Beautiful.
like,
Yeah.
hey, that doesn't make sense. Like, why didn't you do this? Like, but no,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
great. And yeah, we did meet at the Christmas party.
Yeah.
That was a good time. I love
Oh
these
man.
that we just had. We just had a recent one last week in San Diego where we had another mastermind. So
Oh,
that
San
that
Diego.
yeah, we had another mastermind
Oh. Oh.
in
Oh, in
well,
LA.
yeah, it was in LA.
Yeah.
So that was a good
Yeah.
time as well.
Yeah.
But so right now, I guess what's your goal with this so far? Like what's your goal with this?
My goal, I would say, like I kind of mentioned earlier, is I wanted to make it my primary income, my
Mhm.
primary financial income with that, to where it allows just life to happen. It allows me to be more free. At the same time, it allows me to do more things because, like I said, I love my trucking business and everything. It's busy. It's like a well-oiled machine just going now at this point, but it's just one of the things I always question in the back of my mind, like, do I want this? Do I want to continue? And I've always been, again, with some, like, certain things like this that can be like a residual type income coming in. And that's always been like my drive, is just like, I want something that either investments or residual type businesses that can flow on their own. Not to where
Mhm.
I don't do anything. I don't ever want to get stay like, what's the word, where you just stop. You make a certain amount and then you just stop. I always want to keep growing and getting the thing going to where, who's next? That's my thing. I always say, okay, on to the next. I got this guy, landed this merchant, on to the next. Nice to meet you. Who do you know? Kind of thing. And my goal is with this is to work, because I hate prospecting. I'm not gonna lie, me personally, but it's tough. Like, you can't take rejections. That I can't take rejections that well. But my goal is to work off of referrals, and I know it's not cheesy, but it's definitely doable. And I've had a lot of referrals because of my service, because of my hard work, because of my commitment. That where they know they can refer me to their friend who also owns businesses and stuff like that. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with this, and I just want this to turn, and I know it can. It can turn
Mhm.
into many things, many possibilities, and who knows where it goes from there. So that's what I love about it. It's something that it's my own thing with a kick-ass back support, behind me, which is Cash Swipe and Paybotics, and I know that that helps me with my drive as well.
Yeah, and rejections, that's part of the game. But
Oh
I'm
yeah,
a
yeah,
big believer on just because someone says no doesn't mean no. It means
oh yeah,
not right now because they're not listening to what you're telling them. It might take the
exactly,
second visit, it might take the third visit, but at the same
yeah,
time, like these business owners they just they think that's just the normal. They sign up with a processor and they have to pay these fees. So when you're coming in and tell them like, hey, there's another way, there's another option that we could help you put money back in your pocket.
right,
Also, with this extra money, you could possibly help you scale your business. So
hmm,
for everybody
yeah.
watching out there, if someone says no, it means doesn't mean no. It means not right now.
Not right now. Not right now. It'll happen.
And I
Mhm.
also I did see that you signed up a 65-year-old. Uh, was it a restaurant, a bar owner?
Yeah, it was a bar. Yeah, I saw the advertisement for it. Yeah, it's a bar. It's not like a typical bar where
Hmm.
you park your Harley outside and walk in kind of thing. It's more of like a private club, members only
Hmm.
bar that hosts big events at a rodeo here in our town. And they have big events. They have big drawings for roping and rodeo type stuff and all that stuff. But they have a bar in the middle there that's just, it was old, super old bar that was outdated by a lot. Great people, and it's actually a buddy of mine. His dad was the president, or he is the president of the club. Which, you would think, oh, this is gonna be easy. I walk in, hey, this is who I am, kind of thing. But my buddy even told me before, he's like, look, man, my dad is the president. He's 68 years old and he's the youngest guy there. So he's
Wow.
like, these guys are old school guys, like super old school. So it's not going to be easy. So I was like, oh, great. So sweat coming down. Um, but yeah, I went in and not knowing what to expect. And I went in and I just kind of showed them the differences of where they're leaving money on the table, or they have an ATM machine there that somebody services. But he's a crying and crying about the fees of that. He's like, and my buddy again was like, I invite people to this bar. I got to make sure and tell them, hey, don't forget to bring cash, or you're not drinking or anything like that tonight.
Yeah.
So it's one of the things that I'm like, wouldn't you rather have more options than only one option? And I kind of just told them how it worked. And I was like, this is the way we do it. We put them at 4%. I said, this is pretty much the same as accepting cash, but it
Hmm.
gives your customers or members more options where they don't have to worry about going to the bank on their way to the bar, or they don't have to go to the ATM in the back and pull out money and get charged by the ATM and their bank or whatever. This is the way where you put a small fee on it. And I showed them the fee. I ran the numbers for the fee and how it works. And I said, what's cool about it is your club, it's a nonprofit, believe it or not. It's a nonprofit club, will not get hit with any of this. There's the little things here and there, but
Yeah.
it's going to drive up your sales so much more because now they want to bring in a younger generation, and younger generations, of course, they always got a card on them.
Hmm.
So that's one of the things I've noticed, and it's been it's a slow account, but it's been growing like over the months, like more and more and more and more, and it's going good. And it's one of those ones that's like the center of town, and they know everybody kind of thing. So my goal is to keep them happy, and I've been on call. I've shown up in the middle of the night. They pay me in beer to go over there
Hmm.
and fix their problems if they run out of paper or they just something gets jammed up. It's close to home, so I'm able to show that, hey, I'm here. This is who I am, and I go there and hang out for a little bit and I'll fix their problems, and they love that, the customer service side of it. So, but that one, it was one of those things where he's like, okay, you sold me. Now I have to sell the board. I have to sell everybody on it. And he's like,
Yeah.
and I can't. And we met in the parking lot in his truck because he's like, I can't have people seeing me doing this right now because it's a whole operation around it. Like it sounds
Hmm.
crazy. And so I just kind of gave him all his ammunition. I gave him everything he needed as far as the information of how this works, and what it's going to do for the club. Especially when they have their big events, because people come to these events thinking it's a rodeo, they're going to bring their cards and realize, oh, this is cash only. So
Yeah.
they're losing a lot of money with that, with people that are non-members coming in for these big events, and they have big events. So I just kind of sold him on all that and got him going. And next thing you know, he was like, hey, I talked to him and they gave me a little blowback, and it was just like a run on the park. And I didn't have to meet with them. Luckily, I would have if I had to, but
We got your.
luckily he was able to.
We could go in. We go all in there as well. If it's a board,
Yeah,
if there's four of them, we'll go four of them with us.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool. And he's like, we have not had anything like this in 65 years. This is the first time in the history of this club. And this is a club that had Ronald Reagan, who was not a member, but he was basically a founding father of this place, with Ronald Reagan, the president. So this goes way back, and it's just one of those things. And it was a big deal, and it's growing. It's growing rapidly, and I love it. So it's fun, and I can go there anytime as a non-member and hang out. So it's cool too.
Oh, that's awesome, and
Yeah,
it just shows to our audience that there's still cash driven businesses out there,
yeah,
and they're not using credit card machines because of why? The fees. You
the
just said it
fees.
yourself. They didn't want to take
Yeah,
these fees. They don't want to take the card because they're losing money, and now you
100%.
provide them a solution. But I just want to point this out to get a little bit more deeper into it.
Yeah,
Is and with a business that's only taking cash, they're leaving money on the table. The reason being because, like you said, your friend was like, "Hey, when I invite people, you have to remind them to bring cash."
right.
So think about how many restaurants out there or any type of business that they want to get their service, but
Yeah,
they forget they don't have they remember it's a cash only business. And then say
yeah,
you're talking say it's a restaurant. You're driving home with your wife. You want to go to your favorite pizza shop and it's cash only. You're like, hey, I want to go to our spot. Oh, but they only take cash. Do you have cash? No. Do you have cash? No. Do you want to go to the ATM? We'll go next time. Think
yeah,
about how many times that happens. You're just one person. That
yeah,
could
right.
be it could be 10 transactions, it could be 100 transactions. So they're leaving money on the table.
Yeah,
So I'm really excited to see what that business is going to do because now that they're taking cash, it's momentum. The more people
yeah.
that start to know, more people are going to come, and your transactions are going to go higher and higher and higher every single
Hmm.
month.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah,
has that
definitely.
been happening?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It started off really slow, but
Yeah.
even like I had a moment. I was like, oh man, what did I do? Like this is crazy. And it's been growing slowly. And my buddy even told me, he's like, give us some time, because he's now a member under there. He's younger,
Mhm.
and he's bringing in his all his friends and everything like that, who are into that kind of stuff. So they're slowly trickling in the younger generation, and they're like, I'll never take cash to this place again. Like I hate carrying cash on me or whatever. And so we're just going to use your card. They call it my card system is what they call it. So I'm like, all right, yeah, cool. So, and it's just growing. I have a feeling a lot of the older generations out there is starting to realize, oh man, like this is all the fee is for this. This is all I'm putting on top of my purchase here. It's
Mhm.
nothing. And that's why I try to tell. That's what I told them. I said, look, you hear 3 to 4% on top of the sale, but you got to think for one transaction that doesn't cost me anything.
Yeah,
So it's one of those things that they're going to look at and not even bat an eye. And it's slowly happening. So it's growing. It's definitely growing with that. So I'm
it,
happy to be a part of it.
it's convenience. They go open, they can
Convenient.
start tabs. They're like, oh, just leave it on my tab.
Oh
When
yeah,
he's we're gonna start, swiping their
yeah.
cards, and like you said, it's convenience.
Oh
Because then,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know, if you forget you have cash. Like, man, what if you don't have your debit card? Like for myself, I don't care. The only two things that I carry is my ID and my credit card. I don't carry nothing else. I don't carry my debit
yeah.
card. So if there's an ATM in there, you don't have your debit card. I'm not gonna be able to
Yeah,
use it.
it's true. Yeah,
But even if they forget their credit card, they can still use, if you have an Apple Watch or if you have a
mm.
your phone, just tap to pay.
Phone, yeah, so many options now, it's awesome, yeah,
That's awesome, man. I love that there's a business that is cash driven. You switch them over. Now that business, it's gonna grow. I'm telling you,
yeah,
that's gonna be a big account soon because everybody's
yeah.
gonna know. It's gonna be word of mouth. Oh, they take card. They take card. You don't have to just worry about cash no more.
Yeah. I even went
Definitely.
on Amazon, I bought 'em credit card signs to put out there, so I can be on the banner out there, "We accept credit cards," and so it was pretty cool. They were like, "Oh, okay, yeah," so just the little things like that, like, "Hey, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make this blow up," so that's the plan. But yeah, been a fun experience with that one of my merchants there, and it's been really fun to see him grow. I check him every day, I check him every month, and everything
Yeah,
like that, and it's definitely grown, so I'm really excited about that. It's only gone up, so that's what's been great about it.
love
Yeah,
it, man. That's awesome.
yeah,
So, let's
yeah,
talk about follow up because in this industry, it's all about the follow up because if you think you're just gonna go to one business one time. Yeah, that's
yeah,
not it. You might, because there's been guys like I interviewed a guy, his name is Chris Lee. He he
yeah,
he he offered it to a business owner, and they pulled up a chair like, I'm ready. That's how bad
yeah.
they hated their fees. But
Wow, it'd be awesome.
yeah, it does take follow up.
Yeah,
You do it's all in
yeah.
the follow. Might not be that might be back to back, but you have to like. What does your follow up process look like right now?
Well, I can say that honestly, I don't go in expecting to close right away. That's never been, I tried that at first, and obviously I learned from that. So, my goal now is I guess everybody quotes Mr. John Sarabia, but it's, you make friends first. You go into a store, you find. I always try to find something. Either they got a rare thing they're selling, or they got some art on the wall, and you make that small talk with them, and you find out where they got it from or why they sell that and nobody else sells it or anything like that. And I try to build that rapport first, and I look to make a friend first. And I've had so much success with that to where they're not like, oh, this guy's not just trying to sell me. Oh, I got guys coming all the time from whatever company, this and that, and yeah, everybody hears, oh, cash discount, I can do this and that. But what I do is I sell myself. I sell what I can bring to the table with the cash discount program. So that has been really good with that. So obviously follow ups. It comes from just popping back in, letting them know I'm still around, messaging, calling, to where I'm not a nuisance, but at the same time, you bring up certain things within our first conversation that maybe they forgot about because they're busy. They're like, oh yeah, that's crazy that he remembers that we talked about that, like, little things like that. So my goal is to get that rapport going before I try to do anything. I trickle it in as I go, but that's my goal first is to make a friend, because that's what I want to do. You don't just become a merchant mind, become friends. I got
Yeah,
people that are merchants that I've met through prospecting, going through that now. One sent me a message last night, help me out with my machine, like, but it's something that they gave me access to on the Clover, to where I'm helping them with their schedule and everything. I'm like, all right, cool, no worries, I'll do their schedule, and they just appreciate that so much. And it's one of those things that it's like, yeah, you can call me anytime. Obviously if I'm awake, I'm gonna help you out, and if I can make it over there, I'm gonna do it. And that's what I kind of show as I'm doing the pitch as well. Like, you're not
Mm,
just getting a brand new machine. You're not just getting your savings on a month. You're getting me, and that's what I try to sell, to where it doesn't have to involve too much follow up, because I will do it if I have to, and I've done it. But if I don't have to follow up too much, I mean, that's kind of, I sell it as a friendship before I guess even before a partnership in a way. So
mhm.
that's kind of my goal with merchants, and just being local and being close. And I always point out, where I'm at, and if I'm within my area. So, but yeah, follow ups work good. I always just touch base on what they've been doing. If they give me any blowback as far as, we're not ready now or anything like that, and I just kind of dig deeper, so what is stopping you, from doing
Mhm.
stuff like, or for going this route, or what are you afraid of. So I ask those questions to where I can show them the solutions to it, to the problem that they think they have, which is not a problem. In most cases it's not a problem. So I
Mhm.
always try to point out that I'm here to help you 100%. I'm also going to be your customer service, your tech, your trainer, and everything involved. Like, you're not just going to see me come and throw a system in your system, and you're not going to see me anymore.
Yeah.
You're going to see me. You might even get tired of me at times. I'm going to come shop at your place. I'm going to show up. And take care of you. And that's what I sell, and it's been great experience with that. So the follow up's been pretty easy when it comes to that. Not always, you always get your stubborn people every now and then, but yeah, other than that, it's been good following up with people. As long as you have a good rapport with them, it makes things a lot easier. So I haven't had too many problems with that. Thank goodness.
And that's huge. And that's one of the things we preach is, you're making it personal. You're not just these other guys that are coming in and, they're just trying to sign you up and then you'll probably never see them again. You're making it personal. You're
Exactly.
a local. You're
Yeah.
like it's more personable and,
Mhm.
and then the day you want to keep them happy because that's your residual income. Usually these other guys, they just sign them up, get their one-time payout. They probably just offer them things that they don't need. 100% they
Yeah.
offer them things that they don't need. They
Exactly.
get paid out and they forget. Because there's
Yeah.
that one thing we ask is like, "Hey, when's the last time you talked to your guy?" The response would be like, "Hey, I don't know who he is.
I don't
I haven't
know.
seen
Yeah.
him since he signed me up. I don't know."
Yeah.
And that's one thing you could bring to the table is
Right.
like, "Hey, I'm local. I live down the street. I'm like 10 minutes
Right.
away. If you need support, I'll be here to help you." And that's huge.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, if I could tell you a quick story, it just happened. I have a merchant that I'm hoping to hear back from the next day or two. That my wife went to, and he's a local wholesale market over here in town. And we love their salsa. They have great homemade salsa. And it's a wholesale
Mhm.
guy that you can walk in and buy everything as a regular person, but he also does wholesale to businesses all around the area. So she literally walked in and she's buying the salsa, and they have a Clover system, the older Clover system they got through their bank. And she checks out and everything, and she goes to the receipt and she goes, "Oh," and she looks at the guy and she's like, "You're not passing your fees on to the customers?" And like, and this is my wife who's not involved, like, and she's like supportive 100%. I love her to death, but she's like, right, was like, "Wait, you're not passing the fee on to your customers?" And they're like, "No, I've never really thought of that." She's like, "Oh no, you shouldn't be paying these fees." And she started pitching it.
Oh,
And then
wow.
she said, yeah, so she had a good day. And she's like, "Have a good day." And then she gets home. She's like, "You got to go over there right away, do this and that. And I waited a day and I went over and I talked to him. And it was one of those things. It's like, hey, they have a Clover system. This is what they're doing through the bank. They have everything they need to run their business. And it's one of those things where I'm talking to this kid this whole time. And I think is the owner, gives his card his name. And then we're texting. He's like, "Hey, I need you to come back over. The owner is here and you need to speak." I was like, "Oh crap!" Like, I thought I was talking to the owner this whole time,
Yeah.
So I literally walk in, and this guy comes out, he's an older gentleman, sweating. He's unloading a trailer in the back, and he's like, "Tell me why I should go with you." And he just stares at me, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like, it was like first day, I was like, I wasn't ready for it, because I was making all the small talk with his son. It's his son. I think I was small talking with him, and this guy's like old school. He's like, "Tell me why I shouldn't just call my bank and put cash discount on my system through my bank. Like, tell me why I should go with you." And it was like a deer in the headlights. I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, it just caught me off guard. But then I just started. I don't know if I blanked out or what. I just started spewing everything out. We talked for over an hour, And this guy at first he's like, I gotta hurry up from the back, this and that, tell me this and that, like not rude
Yeah.
or anything, but just let me know, like, hey, sell me on this, you know? And we ended up talking for over an hour and going, he told me his whole life story of his business and everything like that. And I told him what I can do. Yeah, I might bring the same system, but you're not just getting the system like you did with the bank, you're getting me as well. And he's a guy that built this business from the ground up. So he right away connects with that. And I see that and it's like, hey, look, I'm gonna work just as hard as you did with your business to prove that you don't have to worry about shutting down your business if you have any issues with your system. You just call me directly. I'm down the street. I come over and take care of you. And I just sold myself. And like I said, we were talking for over an hour and it just shook hands, everything like that. And it's been I want to say it's going to happen, but you know, it's one of those things. I'm just waiting for the call. And they started talking to Toast, believe it or not. I guess they're doing retail. And they're like, we talked to Toast. They're going to give us the system. They're going to give us the scale we want for free. And I even came in like, hey, I can work with the system. And I told them, like, look, I can't do the scale myself because they need a big scale, a certain size scale, you know, that we don't have on top. But I sold them my service to where it kind of shadowed that fear of them not getting a free scale, to where it's like, hey, you're going to get all this with me, to where this scale, they're like, and they were like, we'll go buy a scale. Don't worry about it, you know?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. It's like, I was able to sell myself to go around that, I guess objection in a way, to where it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I can't, I mean, I can if I wanted to, but I'm going to sell you my services and what I can do for you with the system, everything around that, and my customer support that I'm going to give you, to where they were like done, you know. And then I want to say it's a closed deal. I don't want like to say that until the paper's signed, but it's looking really good. And then as I'm talking to this guy, I find out he's a wholesale sale guy for a lot of taco shops around the area, a lot of food burger spots, like direct contact with these owners. So I'm like, right away, I'm like,
Oh yeah.
oh, this could turn to something. If I take care of him the way, I mean, I would do it anyways, but the way I wanted, I would take care of him. He's gonna spread the word, you know, and that's my goal, is to like, hey, I got this guy that came in and did this. You should call him. Boom, 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 and that's my goal with something like that. So, but it's pretty cool. Like I with my wife, I owe her a steak dinner now. So,
Once once he signs up, it's gonna be like you owe me. That's my. She's gonna be like, that's my account. But
yeah,
I love
she's already saying that.
he came in, really direct, and you just build a relationship. At the end of the day, you
Yeah,
build a relationship. People like to work with people they like. It's
right.
simple, and they're
Yeah,
doing business with the. Again, I'm gonna keep saying this. It's someone that's in the same city as them,
yeah,
and you're local, so you're there just to help. You're not there just to sign them up and forget about them. So
and move
you
on.
overcame
Yeah,
objections. You offering great customer service. At the end of the
yeah.
day, you are selling yourself. You're just talking to them and
Hmm.
telling what you provide, you bring to the table. That's
Yeah,
awesome, man. Love that.
yeah.
And now I got to try the
So,
salsa because I know we're close by. So now
oh, I'll tell you all about it. Don't worry about it. It's definitely worth it. I'll buy you first round. Yeah,
love. But okay,
yeah.
so now
That's
let's
good.
go into like what's one like you kind of answered this earlier today. Because I know you said that you don't go and trying to close them on the first time.
Mhm.
But I just want to dig a little bit deeper. Is there something else that you used to do in the beginning, but you don't do now? Besides that, anything else?
Yeah, buy a product and walk out without saying anything.
You're not the only
Like,
one. You're not the
oh
only one.
man, yeah, I know. I've heard the stories, and I'm like, oh crap, like I relate to all these. But yeah, I mean, it's more of just, I don't know if it sounds bad or not, but it's just fake it till you make it kind of thing. I'm just more like, I sell again what I can bring to the table with it, that I never did before. But before, I was more like, oh, I can save your fees, I can save your money, this and that, you know. And it's just like, oh yeah, we hear that all the time, where we can just bump our prices up there, and I don't know how to contest that, you know. So that's kind of one of the things that it would just stop me, and I would be like, oh, and okay, have a nice day, and you leave or whatever, you know. And it's just one of those things that I have done in the past, and I might even have my moments nowadays where I do it, just depending on reading the person I'm talking to.
Hmm.
But I just go in with more confidence now, you know. Like obviously, I've learned more. You do have to do research. You do have to learn these machines, you know, and even the cash discount program to a certain extent. I mean, you should obviously learn everything you can, but but yeah, I would go in with just like hoping for the best, and then cry when it doesn't happen, you know, kind of thing. And it would ruin me at times, you know. And it's just one of those things that it would get the best of me. And now I just make sure that it doesn't get the best of me. it's one of those things that it's like, okay, on to the next, you know. If this person's like, no thanks, you know, luckily I've never been yelled at or anything too crazy. But
Hmm.
now it's just more one of those things. It's like on to the next, you know. So dime a dozen, or you know, or like they say, there's plenty of fish in the sea for this area. So that's one thing that I keep in the back of my mind going in, like, hey, I'm not going to close on this, or hey, I'm going to close on this. It just depends on your mindset you go in with. So it depends how you approach it, but it's definitely different from when I first started, and that's how everybody's gonna be, you know, unless you got like a crazy sales background or something like that, where you just got no fear, and that's great. I have more power to you, but that's not me. And I've tried sales in the past, and I've never been the kind of guy that can just sell anything, you know, at least in my head, and I do that to myself. But now I'm getting better at not questioning myself, not fearing, you know, stuff going on with that. So it helps me explore a little bit more when I'm in front of the merchant. Yeah.
So I want to touch on that because a lot of our clients never have sales experience, and you just said it yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you didn't have sales experience, but you just weren't
Yeah.
like heavy into sales. But now that you're doing this, like, what do you think helped you the most with Cashwipe, or was it the community Cashwipe? Was
Oh,
it I can
yeah.
name?
I mean, definitely. Like, it's just one of those things. 'Cause I have done sales jobs before. It's not my thing. Like I said, I love sitting in a truck by myself driving, but I have done sales before. I'll just small story. I worked at Wells Fargo Bank. You know, as a
Mhm,
banker, and you're given all these sales goals kind of thing. And I'm going with very little sales experience, but your goal is like, what all can you sell them on, kind of thing, with no backup, no like nobody there to help you
mhm,
kind of get through that, you know? And then I come to something like this and I'm just like, oh crap, like if I have any kind of hiccup or anything, I thought or a call or whatever. And just the backup support that you get with this makes you set at ease so much more, knowing that you're not alone. Like, you know, and I've even sold that even to the guy I was telling you about a minute ago. I'm like, you're not just getting me, you have a backup support. And you know, I mentioned Paybotics, and you know, with me, I'm in California, so I'm like, they're local, they're here in LA. That's a big deal to some people. I said, but you're not just getting me to work. So, and I've been straight up with certain people too, like, hey, look, if I can't answer your questions for you, I got a backup support. I'll get that answer for you as soon as possible, you know, and that helps as well. But it's also me knowing that I can, you know, it's knowing that I do have that opportunity to call customer support with Paybotics, or
mhm.
hit up Nadia. You know, I was just before this message going through our old messages on Instagram, and I was like, oh man, I did used to ask her a lot of questions, you know, and I still do. And other people, you know, I reached out to Jackie, of course, you know, she's the homie from Pasadena area, you know, so she's local as well. So we got our whole little Southern California crew over here. But just to know that I got people like that that I can fall on and rely on, as you know, as a crutch, you know, in a way, you know, it just makes you feel a lot better, not being a salesperson, you know, to where it's like I don't have to be a salesperson because I see what I'm doing here, and I know the possibilities of what I can do for these merchants, and that makes me set a little bit at ease for sure. So
No, 100%. The support's there. The support, the
yeah,
guy team, everybody, and accountability as well. Because
100%,
if
yeah,
you're doing it, we're gonna hold you accountable in a good
yeah,
way, bad
yeah,
way, in a good way. Because at the end of the day, we're here to win. We want to
yeah,
win. We help business owners. We want to make residual income. So
yep,
once you're a client, you're family.
yeah,
We go in. So there's no
100%,
and
100%,
and then just to go back when you say, again, like some of our top clients never had sales experience, never had
yeah,
sales experience at all. And,
yeah,
it happened because at the end of the day, you're not even selling. You're just offering a solution to save a business
exactly,
owner.
yeah,
They save money, you're helping them, they're happy, and you get a small piece of the pie. Everybody's
yeah,
happy, right?
yep,
And you feel good
yep.
about it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that's the thing that kind of set you at ease. Like, you're literally going in to help this business. You know, you're going in because they're doing a traditional type business or old school ways. Excuse me. And that's what sets you at ease, is that I'm literally going to walk in here and save this company hundreds to thousands of dollars with little to minimum things that it takes to do that, you know. So knowing that and building that rapport with them, it just sets you at ease to where you just I enjoy it, you know. Like, I love talking to people and business owners. I'm a business owner, so that kind of helps a little bit, you know, to a certain extent, because you know the pains of owning a
Mhm.
business, And so you can relate to a lot of things. So that I guess helps a little bit with the sales side of it, you know. But yeah, it's been great. Yeah.
And one last question for you. For someone who's thinking of joining, what would you recommend they learn first
Learn first.
or focus on first?
Oh, okay. Um, I would say listen to the stories, listen to the people. We're all real, you know. I would say I'm from Riverside, California, you know, a little town here in Southern California, and I was in the same spot. I was doing it like I mentioned earlier. I waited a while. I waited too long in my eyes, you know, and I was on that fence for a while, and I finally took that leap. And it's one of those things that you just gotta kind of dig into the business, ask questions, definitely ask questions, get to learn who we are, who the backup support is, and everything. Know that we're all real people. It's not one of those things you got to worry about talking to a machine or anything like that. So I would say if you're looking into this and you're thinking about it, definitely get on the phone, talk to somebody, talk to John, talk to anybody else that does that part of it. And they're going to be real people with you. They're going to be legit. They're going to show you what possibilities you could do and what backup you have and everything around the whole business, you know. And it was one of those things where I didn't even think about it after I talked to who I talked to at the time, and it just it just set me at ease with that, knowing that hey, this is a risk I'm taking, but it's a risk I'm not taking alone. So that helps a lot, especially if you're like me. And that's the kind of person I am. I ask questions. I hesitate. I put my guard up, and sometimes I regret it because I miss out on certain opportunities. But at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, when it happens, and this has happened, I could say I'm 100% grateful and thankful to everybody involved for sure.
And it's I love that. So, but all right, guys. Other than that, this my name is John Hernandez from Cashwipe. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Residual Income for Beginners, and we will catch you guys on the next times.